Hi there, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter. Today I want to share this really thrifty upcycle with you. I have found so many of these stools on the side of the road for free or at yard sale. I think I had 4 at one point in my old studio, and we're just ready to get rid of these last 2 stools when I thought, wait a minute, I actually think there's a really cute studio DIY I could make. So the first thing I did was scrub the grime off of these chairs. And when I tell you, you can find these so frequently for free on the side of the road or at yard sales, I am not kidding. I think the most I ever paid for any of these stools were like $5 a piece, but I think I paid $5 a piece for 2, and then I think I got 2 for free. But anyway, these are the last 2 I had, and we're going to upcycle them. So I'm going to start off by, after cleaning them, giving the legs a couple coats of red paint. You want to let them dry thoroughly in between, so I do this kind of in steps. So starting off, giving the legs a good coat of paint. I like to paint it one time upside down and the next time right side up. So if I miss any spots, I can catch them because it can be really hard to see all the sides and angles when you're painting something. And then I give the seats a coat of white paint. So we only have 1 coat of paint on it at this point, but everything will get a second coat, except for the top. And you'll see why. So I had these stencils, and they were actually for doing like mandalas or rock painting, but I bought them because I thought they'd be really fun to do color wheels with. So I'm just tracing the color wheel stencil. Of course, if you don't have a color wheel stencil, you can find a color wheel online, print it out, and use transfer paper to trace it onto your stool, or you could just freehand it. That would look really cute too. But I wanted this to be evenly divided by 12, so I am using my stencil. My stencil's not quite big enough, so I used a long ruler to make the lines go all the way through. And now I'm using just paint markers, acrylic paint markers, to color in each of the slices of the pie here so that I end up with a beautiful color wheel. And these are the Simp Tap markers by Artix. Now I chose these because they're brush tips, so it's easy to cover a large area. I also won't have to clean brushes if I use these markers. And also I wanted to use them up because they're not my favorite. They're not my favorite markers because a couple of them out of the set kind of exploded when I went to activate them. They're the kind you push on the end. But I have to say they worked really well for this project. So I would recommend these markers if you are doing something that requires you to fill large areas of color, because it did work for that. It worked for that better than like the other brush markers I had, which I was afraid I would run out of ink on. So I took a couple different tacks on this first one because I didn't know exactly what colors I wanted. I was kind of like, you can see I dumped all my markers out on the floor to kind of see everything. Once I discovered the 12 colors I wanted, then I just put them in this little jar so I could pick the ones and fill them in that way. Now these did need 2 coats of paint, just like the other paint that we used, because I found with just 1 coat they were a little bit streaky. I did want to give a recommendation for the white paint I used underneath this, and this is my recommendation for an opaque white paint, and it's very affordable. It's the Blockout White by Chromacryl. It's their student grade paint, but you want to get the Blockout White. Now I've tried the Blick brand of Blockout White, their student grade brand. It's not as good. It's the Chromacryl Blockout White. It is fantastic. You would not know you were using a student grade paint, and it is so incredibly opaque. If I'm mixing a color and I need like a pastel shade or whatever, and I want it to be really opaque, that's what I use. Now, after I've gotten 2 coats on everything, all I have left to do is give it a coat of varnish, and I am using glossy Minwax polycrylic. I love the Minwax polycrylic because it is water-based, so it doesn't give you that yellowish tint that an oil-based polyurethane will, especially where I want something to be super duper bright like these chairs. So it is a little bit of an investment. It's not really cheap, but I find the finish to be very durable, and it just works really well. There you can see the before picture and our beautiful after shots, and I think this is just the perfect addition to my new studio. I hope this inspires you to revamp some of your furniture, and I hope you have a creative day. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy crafting.